Greetings and hello, my name's Ryan Willard and I'm an architect from the Thinking Hand Studio, and today I'm going to be answering some of your questions about renovating and doing new home extensions. One of the most often questions that I get asked is, how much is my extension going to cost? How much is my remodeling actually going to cost? And it's not a straightforward answer. In fact, at the outset of a project, it's almost impossible to give a straightforward answer until we've actually done a feasibility study and we have a better understanding of what the client's needs are, what your brief is, how best to solve those problems, and we've actually put those down into a set of drawings which can begin to be costed. Now, for rough estimate costs, I would suggest and often use a very sort of simple scale where we have about £1,500 per square metre at the very low end of a build. That's the kind of the sort of cheaper end of a build, to £2,500 to £2,000 being mid-range per square metre. This is for new build, and anything above £3,000, £3,500 per square metre becomes a very high-end type of project. Obviously other factors can push these prices up, such as if you've got groundworks to incorporate, that's moving of drains, that's difficult site location, or there's a lot of structural work that needs to be done, can also push those new build costs up. In terms of interior renovations, the costs might be in the order of £800 to £1,000 per square metre. Again, it depends on the extent of the work and the finishes that are required. But one important factor with costing is that the more information you have, the more drawings you have your architect produce you, the more cost certainty that you have. At the very outset of a project, we do a feasibility study and we use that rough guide to give an indication of how much a project is going to cost and what the budget is. Often a budget will change, or the project's brief will change, and the budget needs to incorporate that and go along with it. But as each stage of the building process goes along, from your feasibility study to your planning through to your building regs, right up the tendering package of a lot of detailed drawings, at that point the contractor is able to give you a much more specific, clear and accurate description of how much your project is actually going to cost. And also you've got to consider your soft costs as well. So these numbers we're just talking about are construction costs. They are the costs of labour and of materials. You're also going to have soft costs, such as the architect's fees, which can be in the range of about 12.5%. Sometimes it can be more, sometimes it can be less, depending on the architect that you are working with. Also, your engineer's fees, that might be 3 to 5 to 6% of the project, and VAT. Now, VAT is one of the biggest factors that often gets missed out or left off a lot of quotes and numbers that are given in the construction industry, and that can be a 20% straight away onto all your construction costs. The builder's going to need to make his profit as well. They work to very tight margins. He needs to be able to pay his people, so often that can be a 10% of the construction cost, of the hard costs, and also your planning fees and other consultants such as party walls, which could be another few percent added on to that. So I hope that's begun to answer a quite complicated question. Thank you very much. My name's Ryan Willard.